government. They do not have the experiences that middle-class families might have. I think things like using the internet, opening up their world like that on a regular basis, makes them want to read and write and look for answers. And that's what school is all about. Reading, writing, looking for answers, asking questions. And the internet just makes it so much more exciting, quicker, more convenient, so much information out there. On the other hand, you know, another problem is there is so much information out there. Where do you start? You know what I'm talking about? So you as a teacher have to get in there and get your hands dirty, you know? You have to...
Another question is really related to, because as you said, that in your school in Florida, you do have this difficulty about exams, so there is an older method of teaching. I mean, they're not that, which is true of Pakistan as well. They're very exam and, you know, focused on things like that, on so many tests each time, and each time you complete a unit, you must do so many tests and so on. Now, with that, have you had other teachers, other subject teachers working with you, or are you a computer teacher and you're the only one who's interested in getting children to look for
I am the main one, but slowly but surely, I have included other teachers off and on. I believe I was the first one at my school, and now our librarian, I'm not sure what you call that teacher here, but the teacher who's in charge of the library, she now has the internet in the library. And which is great, because when students are doing research for anything, they don't just have the encyclopedias, the magazines, the journals, the books, the novels, but they also have the internet. They can look up information that way. That was great. Our principal, finally, has an email address. And again, she was like me. She didn't know what her email address was. So she sent me an email address and asked one of my students to tell her what her email address was. So I've helped other teachers get signed up with email in my school. There aren't very many that are using it regularly, but it's hard to get used to. You know, I've been using it since 1991. So this is 6 or 7 years. You know, it took me this long. I kind of feel confident now, but I have so much more to learn. And that's okay with me. I don't mind still learning.
What about your administration? How do they take away what they have not about, you know, you can have, oh, this means investment, or this means a different method of teaching, or whatever. Did you have difficulty with
In my school, in my community, it wouldn't matter what I did in my classroom, as long as my students are achieving, if they are making good grades, if they are passing, if when they take exams they have good scores, they don't care. You understand what I'm saying? So, but if I couldn't show proof like that my students were improving, then that would be another story. But using the computers and internet, you're almost guaranteed improvement.
Are you a subject teacher then, or are you a computer teacher?
I'm certified to teach English, social studies, Spanish, and I'm working on a degree in instructional technology right now. When I'm through, I could officially be an internet computer teacher, but right now I teach internet as an elective, kind of like art, drama, those type classes. But I fit the internet in my English class. You know, English is reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, right? Any language. Or do, you know, same thing, 5 things you're doing. But using the internet, you can do all 5 in a very exciting, meaningful way.
And the reason why I was asking this was, if either if you're a computer teacher, then you're talking about the internet or about how it works, or are those executive tasks ones that you could be dealing with? If you're a subject teacher, it opens up a greater world for you on the internet, because you're actually able to access information, get information while you at the same time learn how to do it.
Right.
But therefore, I always feel that for schools to begin, whether they begin on internet or whether they begin working with computers, it's always much nicer for a subject teacher to begin
Right.
rather than the computer teacher beginning.
Yeah, that's right. And even though I teach English, my students are learning information from all subject areas: geography, history, religion, home economics even, just everything, all at once. You know, it's fast learning, integrated learning. It all makes sense the way you learn with the internet. I don't think the internet just teaches students knowledge either. It's not just knowledge and skills that they're learning, but they're learning to be a better person. For example, I told you about the students that my students were writing to who had committed crimes, and they are my students' age. But another example of that type of thing is 3 weeks ago, or almost a month ago, well, for about a year, my students have been writing to a class from Winchester, Virginia. And 1 month ago, one of their e-pals committed suicide. And that was very scary for my students. And when they found out, it was like, I think 10 minutes of silence. And they would not have known this boy if it wasn't for the internet. And after the 10 minutes of silence, one of my students said, well, what could we do? I said, I don't know. What do you suggest? And so they started talking, and I said, who do you think's hurt the most? The family. So what can we do about it? And so they wrote poems and letters, and they bought some flowers and things like that. We put it in a package and we mailed it. So my students learned compassion, you know, feelings, caring about other people. They might not have ever experienced that in their life, maybe, if it wasn't for the internet. So it's not just knowledge, but it's learning to care and learning to cooperate. Yeah. Any other questions?
We have Nicole from Australia, and we have Charles from New Zealand.
Okay, so online we also have a girl named Nicole, a student in Australia, and another individual from Texas. Can you see them? No, not yet.
It's a
Internet phone?
no, it's a chat. It's a
Chat?
chatting. If you can hear them. I mean, they have what is it? We can hear them, but I mean, again, they don't have video.
You know, already because of people, I mean, who in here has something to do with an internet business or computer business? Anybody in here? You? And many of you have an email account and so forth. I don't know what you think of your position in the internet world, but I think that Pakistan has a very good reputation already in the internet world. I think you're ahead of many countries. You're almost ahead of some first world countries like Germany. He was talking about some problems that Germany is having online. People don't want to get online, it's too expensive, but you have at your fingertips inexpensive methods of accessing the internet. That is wonderful. In America, I would say that every other software engineer is from this area. So, you know, this is a big world. And much of what my students have learned about the internet and computers has been from people from this country. So I want you to be proud of your country. And I would love to see you be a part of bringing more people from your country into this exciting activity. And if you're, one thing that crosses my mind is if you're afraid, you know, you have your own culture, your own religion, your own traditions. And if you're afraid that opening up the world to young people like that is going to make them drop what's familiar to them, it won't. It won't. My students have been writing to Farouk, his cousin. He's 15 years old, and other young people from this country. And my students share with each other, with them, their beliefs in religion and culture, manner of dress, food, you know, and there's no judgments made. It's very exciting and interesting to my students. They didn't, I mean, for example, they didn't know that it's wrong to eat pork in any country. They didn't know that. They learned that from students here. They didn't know that people, and some women cover their heads and faces. They didn't understand why. But your students taught my students why. My students have actually even discussed with your students and compared the Bible, you know, and the Quran. My students now know about Muhammad, and I think I'm supposed to say, help me, peace be upon him. And So I don't want you to be afraid that it's going to just change everything. It's not. You can still hang on to who you are and be proud of that, but also open up and see what other people are like and share what you have, because people want to know about you. I know my students are very excited about knowing as many people as they can. So, any more questions? We need more questions.
Could you please give the detail of what is the website and FTPs and Gopher?
Things like that. It's in those packets, but I can give you an idea. Pardon me? Like I said, homepage is like a home. It's like in a neighborhood. Let's pretend like Karachi is the internet. And you have all these neighborhoods. Each neighborhood might be, I might be explaining it wrong, but each neighborhood I think is like a server. And within each server, each neighborhood, there are homes. Okay, that's just like on the internet. There are servers, that's the neighborhood. The homes are the home pages. You have a home in your neighborhood, you can have a home page on the internet. Okay, the home page on the internet, you can design it, or you can have someone else help you design it. Pakistan Computers has a program which they can help you make your own homepage free. And you just give all the information about yourself that you want people in the world to have. Whatever you want them to know about you. Your business, your picture, your telephone number, your email address, things you're interested in, things you want to know about, questions that you have. And once you get familiar with the internet, your favorite home pages. See, you have a home, you know how you like to go visit other homes? Certain homes, they're your friends and family, right? It's just like on the internet. You keep using the internet and you find some home pages, some homes more interesting. And you want to go back and visit them over and over. Okay, FTP, it stands for File Transfer Protocol. It just means, I know many of you have at least played a computer game, like maybe Tetris, I don't know, I'm not sure. Lemmings, is that a game? Yeah? Okay, you like that game a whole lot, you have it, maybe it's shareware, then you can send a copy of it to somebody else in the world who's a friend or whatever, and you send it by FTP, but you know, it's a file, special file, like a software program that you send by the internet. It's not just email that you can send files by the internet. Okay, what else? You said FTP and HTTP.
I think Gopher.
We won't never use it.
Gopher.
I have been
Gopher?
using internet for 2 years. I have never even touched Gopher.
Now
You
that-
wouldn't need it. It's Gopher started like in 6 years back, when there was no something like web pages. There was no such thing before. There was only email, Gopher, Archie, a couple of weird more names, but they never. I mean, normal user doesn't use them anymore. FTP is also being used by very few people. I mean, who want to make their own web pages or some kind of that stuff, or maybe want to transfer some files. But if you want to transfer a file now, you just attach it to an email and it goes. I mean, you don't have to learn FTP to do that. It's something which you might need, but again, it's going to be like talking about COBOL in this language in this class. I mean, it's something which nobody would be using. So I would rather not enter into that. It's going to get confusing. If you want to ask something like that, you can ask in the separate session. But I mean, for everybody, it would just.
We should stick to that subject.
Yeah. The main thing is that she is personally using just email, just email. That alone has helped us more than enough. I mean, that particular thing gets you communicating between each other. Gets a lot done. I mean, you wouldn't even need, web page is something which now people are using, but again, email is the basic. Like in Germany, she was telling me that they don't even send their email for 10 days. I mean, and the users don't have access to computers. They write it down in the English class, the email, and give it to the teacher, and they just type it in themselves, and they send it. So you don't even have to let the user use the computer for email.
Can I have some new facility about it? Voice mail?
There are
Difference
million
between the
new
email-
facilities coming in, but again, if we talk into that, it would go more complicated. Only 5 users are here who are using internet. If I start doing that, nobody will understand the main thing. The main cause is to get you started. That is the main cause. I want everybody over here get home and start using email. At least not everybody, 80% of them.
Is
that is the major point, that you should just stick to basics for now. If you just start to run, you just fall down.
Who in here is a teacher? How many teachers do we have in here? Okay, all right. What kind of writing assignments do you give your students?
Actually, I'm not a language teacher. I'm a computer teacher. But I use computers across the curriculum.
Yeah.
I'm really not a computer science person either. And the whole vision was to use computers across the curriculum. But my difficulty has been to get other teachers to actually use it for their own subjects. And for example, at the moment we were doing using a piece of software which is for bringing out the school newspaper. That was meant to be CNW, which is supposed to be really would have been enjoyed by the language teacher most of all and the English teacher most of all. But instead they just could not. And although it is teaching writing skills, but they did not even want to take a look at the workbook, and they said our workload would increase. And when the children had written the work out, they did not want to take a look at the stories that had been written to correct their language errors. Although I thought that maybe by correcting the language errors of the stories that are going to be put on the computer, it will just bring them one step closer to the computer room. So that was the whole purpose. And I would like to start emailing and have my children communicate with other children around the world.
Yes.
And basically, they sort of over here visualize a computer teacher as a person who's a computer whiz. Or I would know all about how the web works, you know, that's the way the children visualize me. So I have sort of a peculiar role that I begin to play, being there and here. So really I'm doing language teaching along with using and teaching them to use software effectively and to bring out a newspaper. So they're bringing out a newspaper, which I hope ultimately, once we get onto the internet, put the newspaper on the internet so that becomes a little bit of computers, a little bit of language, a little bit of everything, you know, and it becomes an integrated curriculum the way I see learning to be.
That sounds great. You have a great attitude. I hope you can make that spread.
Yes, that's the whole thing about making the spread.
Yes. Well, I see then we have teachers and people from different walks of life, different careers here. Administrators, how many administrators of schools? Okay. All right. And what are the rest of you from? Are you students, college students, or? Okay. All right. So it's good to see people from different careers, because one thing I would suggest, you need a lot of help to get this started, but it's not that hard. And if you can get people to cooperate, it will be easier to get it started. So what I suggest is to begin, get a group of people from your community together to sit. Go to eat at a restaurant or sit in your school somewhere and have a meeting and talk about what do you need, why do you want it, what are you going to do with it. So what's the equipment, the software, and all that you need, who can help you, Rehan, right? Why do you want to use it? How are you going to use it? You know, have a little plan. And then you're ready. And you have all that support. You need some parents involved. Maybe have some parents at the meetings, students, teachers, administrator, some computer business employees who have the knowledge and advice. And I think that's the way to get started. Start thinking right now who you can get together to have a discussion to get it started at your school.
Society is also available.
Okay, there's another helper right there.
Yeah. The Internet Society is also available, as I said, to help you out with that. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Zahir Kadwai, who is a member of the Executive Committee of the Society for Education. And he has extensive experience in this area. Suzanne, if you're done.
No, I'm through.
You are through?
Yes.
Right. So, well,
I'll just take a few minutes. I just want to say the Internet Society, as he said, is active. We've obviously started recently, setting up things very seriously, and the education burden has come to me, but it's not a burden. It's the greatest pleasure that one has when working with educators. So what we're intending to do, among other things, apart from hosting seminars and things and making it spread, we're bringing out some booklets, some simple things on how to connect to the point of what you can do, what you can explore. As Suzanne pointed out, there's loads of information available with both problems. There's information overload, you don't know how to search through this. If you type one word in, then my God, you could get millions and millions of answers, not all relevant. Part of it we're trying to do is to get teachers to help us here, take a look at some of the websites, sift through them and find what are things which are more relevant for immediate concerns, and to help other teachers with the curriculum design, etc. And then obviously children will, as she's done very interestingly, that They're emailing all over the world. It's really the cheapest way of getting in. And there's a lot going on. One little personal experience is that there are not many schools at the moment, Suzanne, as you know, who are doing this. And if they are doing it, they're doing it pretty haphazardly. But that's not a bad thing. Even if you do it haphazardly, you're there. Soon your interests will develop in that area. My own experience starts with the fact that I have a little daughter who got onto the internet. She's going to be 13 now. She got onto the internet a couple of years ago. And what she wanted was a pen pal. So we sent in a message for pen pals in a little group where it said pen pals required or whatever, and we hit upon a little school. And it's a school called Del Mar Elementary High School in the US. And it has, that section is run by a computer teacher called Patty Weig, who turned out to be one of the finest teachers that we've ever encountered on phone, on anywhere. And she's done a lot of work with kids. So she got her entire class. The class is much like your class. People who are not really middle class, etc. Very few resources, and they started exchanging things with my daughter. Things that got exchanged, again, were very similar, but there were other things, like, for example, they were doing a project in the class about the Indus Valley. So my daughter was sending them information about Indus Valley, information about our rivers, about our mountains, in exchange for which they were talking about Red Indians in America, which her class was doing. So there were things like that being exchanged. A lot of homework, I think, got done that way as well. So it is very exciting, it's not expensive, and certainly as Internet Society, we'd love to go along. KidLink, I don't know whether you touched upon, I came a little late. So do you use KidLink at all? KidLink?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Okay,
yes.
I just wanted to say briefly, since that was my first experience, there is an international kind of program called KidLink. Whenever you sign on, children from, I think it's 6 to 15 is the range that they cater to. And when you sign on, they ask the child 4 questions. To be able to be part of the KidLink worldwide, you have to answer 4 questions. 1, who you are, where you are, what is your present view of the world, and what would you like the world to be 20 years from now. So that's the starting point for discussions from all kids. And we were going through this, and Karachi has had a very sad 3 or 4 years, as you all know. And my daughter at that time, about the age of 10, was starting off about how she would like the world to be without violence, with peace, because that was all she was reading at this age here. So it started off a very good program. Once you've got onto KidLink, they have a newsletter which comes through email, which every day you get one. There's no cost attached to it, and you're on the mailing list. And what the exciting thing to get is about 30 or 40 schools each day discuss the projects that they are doing. So they write a paragraph about what the project is, how they're doing it. Not every project applies directly to you, and not every project is related only to the internet. It might be a project that the primary teacher is doing about how to make posters in the classroom. But teachers get a lot of resource material that way. So that's another area that I think we should look at. What we'll do at our next seminars, at the Internet Society seminars, is bring some examples of that and print out and put them on so you people can have a look. Thank you. I don't want to disturb you. I think you've been doing a great job. And if you have loads more to say, please go ahead. I know it's very tiring, I'm sure.
Somebody else sit, speak.
Rehan?
Are those people from other people progressive?
I think the questions have been, please.
What is the difference between, you said this was, we were talking about this gentleman, that was a video conference.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to know what is the difference between chatting and video conference.
Correct. In chatting, you're only talking to somebody by typing in, and whatever you are typing, you're seeing on your screen, and then they're also seeing it on their screen. वो ट्रांसमिट होकर उनकी स्क्रीन पे भी उसी बता रहा है वो जवाब लिखेंगे पढ़ के वो स्क्रीन पे भी आएगा स्क्रीन पे भी आएगा चैटिंग इज ओनली ऑन टेक्स्ट
देन द वीडियो का फर्क है सर
वीडियो का और टेक्स्ट का फर्क
टेक्स्ट का टेक्स्ट
मतलब टेक्स्ट जो आप लिख रहे हैं वो टेक्स्ट है ना
तो टेक्स्ट तो उधर भी जा रहा है ना दोनों में
हाँ चैटिंग जो है वो सिर्फ टेक्स्ट से उतार लेते हैं और वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग जो है वो नहीं फुल वीडियो
चैटिंग में आप बात नहीं कर सकते
मतलब ये बात ही करते वसीला अच्छा इसमें ये है कि नाउ आई थिंक वी been through a good amount of stuff and I'd like to thank all of you for showing this much interest. I think Mr. Rehan Ahmed and Ms. Suzanne Slace deserve a special round of applause for bringing this together. I would like to thank both of them on behalf of Internet Society, on behalf of all of you and their team. And also like to thank Mr. David Bhai for making time to come here. ये forms जो आपने आपसे कह रहे हैं Internet Society के forms जो आपने भरे हैं as you go out table पे अगर आप या वहाँ पे colleagues हमारे हैं उनको अगर दे जाएं then we'll keep in touch with you. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in.
एक पार्ट रह गया है, अगर आप लोग 10 मिनट बैठे आपने भगा दिया सबको।
प्लीज वापस शशि भाई
उनको रोकिएगा ज़रा सर, एक पार्ट रहता है भी अगर आप लोग बैठना चाहें। मौजू है हाउ टू गेट योर स्कूल ऑन इंटरनेट। लाइक यू ऑल वर आस्किंग कि किस तरह हम लोग इंटरनेट अपने स्कूल में लगा सकते हैं। तो इफ़ यू गॉट ऑल दिस, it's all in here. I'll just explain it in 5 minutes. How to get your school on the internet. Okay, so as I asked before, only 5 people over here are using email. So how many school? How many of you are from school? Can you raise a hand? Okay, so majority is from school or somewhere. Do all of you have a computer in your school?
We have a computer also. Internet.
Yeah, you told me before that you have an internet account, but normally all of you have an computer, normal computer which you could use for typing and stuff. Can you raise your hand? So I see again all the school owners or anybody from school does have a computer at the school. That's what we expected. So basically what you need for getting on internet is, as I stated before, I would like you guys to get on email first instead of running towards internet and saying that no, this is not what we want. We don't want email. If you start running towards just for internet, you will never get up anywhere. Like we have a colleague of mine over here who has been trying to get on internet for the last 1.5 years and he hasn't been able to. Even though he has been working on computers. But he has been using emails extensively for the 1.5 years and he has got no problem because it's a very simple program, very easy to use. You don't have to learn a lot of things. There are very small things of the list which you have to learn. And it's not very expensive also nowadays. It started from 10 rupees a kilobyte, meaning that this page would take 30 rupees to get to the US. Now it's like, now BrainNet for instance is offering 385 rupees a month flat rate, like 10 rupees a day you pay and you send a million emails if you want to. There is no extra charge. So it's literally for free. Other providers like Digicom are charging 1 rupee per kilobyte, so now this is going to go in 3 rupees if you take account from Digicom. If you take an account from BrainNet, it's like 385 rupees a month flat rate. So if you use it for like 100 emails, it's 385. If you use it for 1,000 emails, it's 385. And that's for unlimited sending and receiving of emails. What you need basically to run an email account is a normal Windows-based computer, a normal modem, which is going to be costing like 1,000 rupees to 4,500 depending on the speed you take, and a normal non-dedicated telephone line which you all have already got in your school. So that is all you need to have an email account. If somebody has more than one computer and they would like to use all of them on an email, you don't have to grab 5 emails, you don't have to buy 5 modems, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. All you have to do is again let the user, let the children, let the teachers type the email on other 5 computers of yours, and they can just take out the diskette and put it in the other computer which has got the modem in it, and they can just send that email. For those who have a larger network, we have already got over here the rates and how it works. For like if you want to have like 10 computer hooked up together to work on internet, that you can also do, and if somebody is interested in that, they can get back to me for details. The rates are all here for internet accounts, the rates are here for modem, computers, everything. So the normal cost for getting on in online over here, if you have a modem installed, is 0. Like we are giving you a free email account. As you move out from here, you don't have to do anything. We'll give you the training and you will not need anything extra. But what we require from you is a small request that please do get yourself online and get started. If you don't get started today, it will take like if you miss this opportunity, you might not get it again in like 6 months or a year. And again, if you do a small thing, if you start sending 1 email a month even, it will automatically create the enthusiasm in you yourself that you want to do it more and more and more. Once somebody sends an email and you get a reply, that first reply is very special. You know that somebody is answering you from the other side of the globe. So it's basically, especially if the students get that, it's very exciting for them. She didn't put it up, but her school scored 40% up the level of what was the score. It went, the score of the overall score of performance of that particular class went up 40% in 1 year's time. They didn't do anything special. There was one person was sending out 2 emails a month. They were not using computers full time. They were not using computers for whole day. They're just using computers 1 hour or in every 15 days. So it's not something which we cannot do. We all have it. As she started with one handy computer. I mean, it wasn't not even on internet. They started just by letters. Then came the internet, a small email account. This just started like 2 years ago maximum. And you all can do the same thing. In 2 years' time, you would be probably a teacher from your place would be going to help us and saying the same thing. So this can happen, and anything can happen now. So thank you for coming here. And as you go out, you have forms of BrainNet over here. And if you would like to sign up, you can just give the form outside. And if you would like to have a detailed information about BrainNet, if Shavana is here, she can help you out with getting hooked up. Thank you very much for coming again. We might be having another seminar, so whoever is interested, which would be a little lengthier. If you are interested, please leave your names outside. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that.
हमें तो सिर्फ 5 दिन भी चाहिए अगर आपके पास वो है आप यहाँ से साइनअप कर दीजिए आपके ऑफिस से आके सिर्फ ईमेल पर हम चाह रहे हैं कि आप अभी इंटरनेट ना लें ईमेल पे ही आराम
So when you get on the internet, you want to go back home, let's correspond.
We will.
Okay.
The method of reporting is letter on the, you know what I mean, was actually started with the class.
I think that is
Rather
wonderful.
than the school doing a newspaper or newsletter or magazine, because what happens
ये जो पोस्टर वगैरह निकलते हैं
Right.
ये मेंबर्स को नहीं है अभी ये आपको भी तो मेंबरशिप दिया होगा ना नंबर वगैरह
नहीं मुझे कोई मेंबरशिप नहीं मिली है
तो जैसे मैं ये कह रहा हूँ ना इम्प्लीमेंट तो हुई नहीं ना
इसकी फिर कोई वो है फीस इसकी
वही कह रहा हूँ ना कुछ भी नहीं हुआ ना ऑफर वगैरह
मुंबई लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया एक्चुअली टीम का ख्याल था कि देखें लोगों में कितना इंटरेस्ट है क्या है फिर उसको फॉर्मलाइज करें तो कुछ
मेरा अंदाजा ये कि इंटरनेट जितना इंडिया और दूसरी यूरोप कंट्रीज में इंटरनेट के लिए सेमिनार वगैरह इम्प्लीमेंट हो रहा है जिस तरह अभी हुआ है इसके बाद खत्म हो जाता है आगे चल
नहीं इसलिए कि वहाँ आप देखें ना लोगों को इंटरेस्ट अब जैसे ये तो फिर वहाँ से आ रही है कर दिया यहाँ पे जो बड़ा प्रॉब्लम मुझे नज़र आया एजुकेशन के हवाले से दैट्स माई एरिया न सिर्फ इंटरनेट में लेकिन अदरवाइज एजुकेशनल कंप्यूटिंग में मैं 14 साल से यहाँ और बाहर दोनों का काम जो प्रॉब्लम नज़र आता है वो ये कि यहाँ बड़े स्कूल्स बड़े डिवाइडेड